Are your kitchen and bathroom way overdue for a remodel? Well, I got the guy for you. Call John Sellers at First Response Contracting, 484-256-7136. Both residential and commercial services, and he's licensed and insured. Call him at 484-256-7136. First Response Contracting.
From real estate to real life and everything in between, The Brad Weisman Show. And now, your host, Brad Weisman.
There we have it. We are back in the studio, and I am so excited about this guest. We have a repeat guest, which is doesn't happen too often, but I like when it does happen because then we can catch up on their life, see what's going on. And I am just going to introduce this guy because he's just a good guy. He's a cool guy. Owen Asztalos, how you doing, buddy?
Brad, it is so good to see you. Thank you for having me back.
You're welcome to come back anytime you want. Absolutely. Next time, though, if you could tell your girlfriend not to bring the food into the studio, because now all I want to do is eat.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We went to the farmhouse kitchen over in West Reading. Delicious. I love it. One of my favorite spots in West Reading.
I've never been. And you're loving it. I've never been. Maeve is loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's back there chomping down and just having a good time with
She's chowing down. I mean, yeah.
You probably didn't eat yet.
I haven't eaten yet.
You look hungry.
Do I?
You look hungry, yeah.
Like malnourished?
A little bit, yeah. I'm thinking white, like a greenish look almost,
That's
like and drawn in, like, you know. It's not good. We'll fix that when the show's done, though. We'll get Hugo to fix that up for you. Yeah. No, you look great. I love your hair, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I'm going like mad scientist. Like
I love it.
Mode.
Do it while you can.
Yeah.
Because after a while, it just turns into this, and you can't do much.
That's what my dad tells me. He's like, dude, why would you get a haircut when you can grow your hair?
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. Absolutely. All right, so let's catch up here, man. Last time you were here was November 2022, and you were just you were getting out of high school. You were just about done.
Yeah.
Right, or you were getting out. Yeah, you were going to start college. You're in college now.
I'm in college.
And where are you at?
I'm going to the Savannah College of Art and Design, which I believe I teased in the last podcast.
You did. That's right. It was a teaser.
Yeah, because that was one of the first schools that I applied to and got accepted to. And it was looking really promising at the time, and evidently promising enough.
Obviously. Now it looks real promising.
Yeah.
Because you've been there.
Yeah, and I love it.
And you're changing things up, man. You're doing different things. I mean, when you reached out to me, I was just kind of thinking, okay, what's different? Is he doing movies now? Is he doing, anything different? I know you do music, but let's go into the first topic. You said you're now really going like headstrong, like really into directing.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about that.
Yeah, so basically being at school now, I am a decided film major and a minor in cinematography.
Okay.
I was going to do a minor in dramatic writing, but I decided to bail out of that just because my writing process is very specific to me.
Gotcha.
And I don't necessarily think that I'll be able to fit myself into like a formulaic kind of style. Yeah. So I decided to do a minor in cinematography, which is cool because they have like 16 millimeter and 35 millimeter film
They
cameras.
still have that stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Well, SCAD's SCAD's tuition is like insanely expensive.
Right.
And a lot of that goes towards like really, really fun, like, toys that the film
That's
students
cool.
use. Yeah.
Very cool. And why do they do that? Why not go right into 4K or go right into, everything else?
Well, I mean, they do have 4K.
Right.
I mean, but like, there's the Ari and there's the Red Komodo, which, camera nerds will know.
Yeah, it's sad. I have no idea. That sounded like some kind of train. Is it a train, like the end of a caboose?
It's a dragon.
Is that a dragon? Yeah. It's a dragon. Thank you, Hugo. It's a dragon that they actually use.
The Red Komodo, yeah.
Or like a coat. Yeah, I'm wearing my Red Komodo today or whatever.
They're like a sushi restaurant.
That sounds perfect for a sushi restaurant, right? Right. So tell me about this now. They have different cameras and things.
Yes. So you have like obviously like newer cameras that they use on like a lot of Netflix shows, like the Red Komodo use it. Like they use it on Hillbilly Elegy.
Okay.
For example.
You know something about that movie, I heard.
I know a little bit about it.
Yeah, that's right. I've heard that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A little bit.
Just a little bit.
But I mean, film has kind of had like a renaissance recently, like in terms of like film cameras.
Wow.
And shooting proper film, just because the difference between film and digital, right, is that on a film camera, you're getting a series of stills just played in sequence. And then obviously a digital camera, you're getting an actual like proper video.
Yep.
And so there's something about the film camera that like has this sort of dream-like sequence to it because you're not actually getting the full moment.
Yeah.
You're just getting stills from the moment.
Your brain puts it together.
Exactly. So it's got this sort of like hallucinatory effect that digital doesn't have.
And you know what's funny? That's happening in music too. If you go to buy a Technics receiver today, like an actual receiver from back in 1970s, okay, you will pay at least $5,000 for something that has tubes in it. That's the old stuff. And the reason being is that there's something, we don't know how it is or how to define it. They still don't understand it. But the human ear loves hearing the warmth of more analog than digital. And it's the same thing with film. We've gone so digital that everything's gotten, it's just not as warm.
Sterile.
It's that's a good word for it, sterile. And look at records. Records have made a comeback. Yeah. There's a reason. Vinyl has made a comeback. And the reason being, if you listen to the same song on a CD or on Spotify or whatever, and you listen to it on a record player, the difference is amazing. Yeah, it's incredible. So it's the same kind of thing. I can't believe they're going back that way.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's having a bit of a renaissance right now. Like there's guys like Tarantino who have been like faithful to it, like their whole careers, obviously. Right. But even like newcomers like Damien Chazelle, he made a movie called Babylon. He made La La Land on Netflix. Mm-hmm. All of that was shot on film. Yeah,
and it's more expensive.
Absolutely, it's more expensive.
Yeah, because you got to develop all that, right?
Yeah. But we're gonna get to use it at SCAD.
That is awesome. So, what took you towards the director situation? I mean, because that wasn't. I don't think that was a conversation last time we talked.
I don't think it was either. I was more focused on acting them, and as I still am now. Like the way that I see it is that acting is plan A for me. Gotcha. I want to be an actor as long as I can be while I'm young. So I can just like maximize the kind of roles that I'm able to play and all that sort of stuff. But I think directing sort of came into the forefront for me more so whenever I was on Hillbilly Elegy and working with Ron extensively.
Yeah, one of the best directors in the world.
Exactly. But that's the thing, right? Is that like being on sets my whole life, like the directors were always secondary to like the other like A-listers that I was like working with, like Jennifer Lopez and Ray Liotta, where it's like they're the center of attention. Yep. Then on Hillbilly Elegy, the most important person in the room all the time was Ron.
Isn't that incredible? That's incredible.
Yeah. And I saw him and I saw how everybody circled around him all the time. I mean, the whole vision is centered around what he sees for it. Right. And everybody is a player and a tool in living out his vision.
Wow. That's a different way to describe that. It really is. Cause you're right. Cause when you look at some movies, I think the actors probably have more freedom or they have more, it's not as much of the director's vision, but with Ron, you're saying it was definitely like, this is his thing.
I mean, he's one of those guys who's like a true auteur, filmmaker. Yeah. Like, and there's not many of those guys out there. And I just realized that I'm like, what's the difference between like a Ron Howard film versus a Martin Scorsese film versus like an MCU film? Yeah. And why does one work and another one doesn't?
Interesting.
And that just like provoked my own thought to be like, well, what's the difference between, a Ron Howard film, Martin Scorsese film, an MCU film versus an Owen Asztalos film?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So you're dissecting that. You're kind of digging in and dissecting what the differences are, and also you're going to have your own take on things. And
exactly,
because you're doing a short film.
I'm doing. That
was a good segue, right? Right into the short film. That's perfect. Right there we go. Right there, short film.
We're here.
Yes,
short film. So I have a short film coming out that I made at school with classmates of mine called Brother's Keeper.
Cool.
That's going to be on my YouTube channel.
So we'll be able to see this.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be accessible to everybody.
That's great.
Always. Yeah. It's a short film. It's going to be about 10 minutes long, and it's a really neat story. It's something very personal to me, sort of about the fallout between two brothers.
Oh wow.
And then I'm in production on another short film right now that we just shot at Dave's Diner in Adamstown, and delicious food also. Yeah. Great breakfast spot. But
little plug.
For Dave's Diner. Well, dude, Dave's just the
That's
best.
good, man.
He's
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Plug as many as you want. I don't care.
No, sorry. Yeah. This new one is called Sincerely Joel, and it's a script that I wrote over the summer, and I knew I wanted to direct it at some point, but just like scheduling and stuff like that with some of the different cast members and crew members didn't pan up until November. Yeah. So we went into main production, which is us like shooting and being on location at Dave's, and we shot it, and now I'm in the editing process with it.
Cool. That sounds so fun.
Written by me, directed by me. I starred in it. I played a character, and
cool.
I'm I'm going to edit it.
Very cool. So that's going to be on YouTube also?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now, does that run through the school? Is that how you get the equipment for that and everything? Or is this separate from the school, your college? Or is it, how does that work?
So Brothers Keeper is connected to SCAD.
Okay.
That's technically like a SCAD project. And then Sincerely Joel is all my own, completely self-funded. I use some of the money that I've made like from acting over the years that I finally got access to invest.
Oh, you don't have, that's I was going to, did you have access to that?
Not like forever. Forever I didn't until I turned 18.
And then you had access
and then
to
I showed up to the bank and I was like, I'm here to collect.
Did you really?
I'm here to collect. Give me my money.
I was always wondering how that works. So
Yeah.
like child actors, they can't touch it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I walked out of the bank like with all cash too, with like all of my earnings that I made.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had enough money to start working on this film and whatever that you're doing by yourself.
Yes.
And plus maybe a little bit left over for lunch today.
For lunch today. Yeah.
Yes, that was
A
very
little bit
nice.
left
Very
over.
nice of you to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's amazing. So the director thing is cool. You're going to have to keep tabs on that with us. I'd like to be up to date on what's going on and send us the stuff so we can share it on our social medias and all that. That'd be awesome. So the other thing, you're seeing the differences between high school and college.
Yes, sir.
What are the biggest differences?
I mean, there's like, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, you could talk about sort of like the social cliques that exist.
Yeah, I was just gonna, let's back up just real quick. I remember in the last podcast, we had discussed the treatment that you got in the public school system at one point.
Yeah.
And we had talked about that because you were doing something different than any of the other kids were doing.
Right.
They probably, and at that time in kids' lives or teenagers and things, they have a hard time dealing with that. They don't know how, they don't know what, you know what it is? They don't know what clique to put you in. Because there was no child actor clique.
Absolutely
right?
not.
There's nothing there. And if there is, you're the only one in it.
Yeah, right.
You're by yourself. So what's interesting, now you're with your people.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
artists.
I always existed in my own hemisphere in high school.
Yep.
And
I get it.
And it was just because, like when I was a kid, like I was unathletic and I didn't play sports. And that was the thing.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. So I was unathletic and I didn't play sports. And so like I never like made friends on like the football team.
Yeah.
I never made friends on the basketball team. And then I did theater camp and I made friends there. And I was like good at it. And it was like as if I was like, some sort of like, star quarterback, but in theater camp kind of thing. And then it eventually got to the point where I wasn't doing theater camp anymore and I was instead like acting on sets and like working with professionals. And then they sort of like became my tribe. Mm-hmm. And then things sort of went downhill in high school because I wasn't acting professionally as much anymore because I was in sort of the awkward phase and COVID was going on.
Yep.
So then I was just kind of like sad all the way around, obviously, because I'm in high school, my tribe is on set.
Yep.
And I'm surrounded by a bunch of people who I never really bothered with before.
Yeah, it's a weird situation.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was the weird art kid.
Yeah.
And so I kind of for a while thought that like, people just wouldn't really like me and that I was going to just kind of like be in my own.
I think they just didn't understand you.
No, I mean, because they understand life as being very like one dimensional.
Yes.
In one way, which is fine. I mean, like that's like the world that they exist in, and that's cool. But it's not at all the world that I was a part of.
No, exactly. You were seeing things that they never saw, probably will never see.
Yeah.
And it made you grow up real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I
get it.
I lived like most of my high school life besides at LCDS during my senior year that we kind of talked about. But I lived like most of my high school life it's just like very like I'm gonna say self-absorbed, not necessarily in like a bad way.
No,
but,
I got it.
I had a lot of my own stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then now going to college, I'm meeting all of these other kids. Who, like myself, were also the weird art kid in high school.
Yeah, I got it.
Sort of like, bonded together and like formed this little commune.
Yeah. Well, they always say misery loves company, but it's not misery. It's just you now found company.
Yeah.
You found company. Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
It's really a beautiful thing.
That's the cool thing about college. I think especially if you're going into an art school or something like that, there's not many people in high school not many people at all doing things at the level you were doing them.
Yeah.
So it's just, and also we're in an area that's not as accepting about doing something that different.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing. But I'm glad that you turned the tide there. You're now in college, and it seems like you're going well. You met somebody, and she's in the studio here, which is cool.
Yes.
And now let's talk about your music phase.
Yeah.
Because last time you were here, you were hardcore into playing live, and you were at the Railroad House and doing different things. And so where's that going?
I played at the Railroad House the other night, actually.
I did too. Did you know that?
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did.
No kidding.
I think I played the week before you did.
Really?
Yeah, I'm back there third Thursday of every month. I play 5:30 to 8 o'clock. It's a happy hour gig.
Dude, I'm there.
Yeah, come on. Come January 18th, actually. A little plug for myself there.
Yeah,
just so you know.
done.
Yeah.
Absolutely there.
You should come. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, I played there
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook. You were there.
this last Monday.
Yeah.
This last Monday. Tonight I have a gig at Bixler's Lodge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 8 to 10.
Down in Antietam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be hanging there.
Now, are you doing the acoustic by yourself type gig, or are you doing with other people?
Tonight it's gonna be a 2-hour all acoustic set.
Awesome. Very cool.
Which is sort of the new era of like music and songwriting that I've kind of moved into.
Yeah.
I've just like really been exploring my folk influence.
Yes.
And like the folk discography that I've been listening to.
Very cool.
And I've taken my songwriting in a different place where before it was like a bit poppier and a bit more like just a bit more mainstream, I guess.
Yeah.
And I've sort of decided that I want to kind of do something a bit more honest to me and like where I'm at now. And so I've taken more of like a folk approach. I started playing harmonica.
Nice.
Yeah, so I have like the
very
whole
cool. You can come into our gig and you can play. You can do the Piano Man from Billy Joel. You can do the harmonica part for us. It'd be great.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
That's a cool instrument.
It's very cool, especially paired with the acoustic guitar. You know,
Yeah,
like
because you get that the thing right. That
Right.
you can. Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks
that's
like looks like you have braces on or something.
Yeah, yeah. No,
funny.
I'm gonna be playing a lot of harp tonight. Which
Cool.
is cool. I'm kind of doing like the Bob Dylan thing.
I love it.
Right now. Yeah.
You know, it's with music and with anything else. You have to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and when I started singing again, you know, just for the heck of it, because I just wanted to. I remember the first thing I said to Jeff, the piano player that I play with, I said, I don't want to do anything that I don't want to do.
Right.
It sounds stupid, but for many years when I did other bands and was in the music realm, you'd play stuff that other people want you to play, and I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to be real to myself. I want to sing what I want to sing because I'm doing it now for the love of doing it. I'm not doing it for the money or anything like that. And that's what I think when you're talking about writing and doing what you're doing now, the acoustic and the harmonica, you're just being true to yourself.
I'm being true to myself, and I'm also being honest with myself.
Yeah.
In a way that I've never really been before.
Cool.
While writing songs, like everything's been very.
Are you happy with it?
I'm so happy with it, Brad.
Good.
I mean,
Good.
The other night I was in New York with my girlfriend, and I wrote like one of the best songs, probably like the best song I think I've ever written.
Sweet.
Just because it was like one of those like kind of like, you know, perfect chemistry moments. And I wrote this song, and it's just like the most honest I think I've ever been about myself.
I love
in
that.
the circumstance that I'm in, where everything else before has been kind of romanticized a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, I haven't been able to breach the barrier of vulnerability that you kind of have to get past to like make really good art.
Absolutely. They always say, I mean, even with Taylor Swift, they always say for every breakup, she writes a great song.
Yeah.
You know, and that's so true. I mean, it's so true. You have emotions is where it comes from. You know, you got to have an emotion going on. If you have nothing going on in your life, you're not going to be writing good songs. You got to really dig into that stuff.
Absolutely.
That's cool. So anything else going on?
Is there anything else going on? No, I mean, you know, not really. I've just been, I'm getting ready to move to Savannah. Did I tell you about
You're
that?
moving to Savannah?
I'm moving
Very
to
cool.
Savannah.
Yes, I do know that. I do
Yeah.
know that. I saw that also on social media.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, we're like properly moving.
Everybody's moving.
The family's packing up.
Everybody's moving. So what do you guys, you mean you're going to stay there then and be in Savannah? That's it.
Yeah, so they're like gonna buy a house in Savannah.
Excellent.
And then I think I'm gonna live off campus next year. So I'm gonna start like looking for my own apartment as well.
Very cool.
In Savannah. And then I think I'm gonna spend like, I really, really being in the city like a lot recently, doing this new show that I have in the works.
Oh yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the new show you're doing?
Yeah.
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a TV show.
TV show.
It's a limited series.
Okay.
There's not a lot I can say about it.
Okay.
It's gonna be on Max.
Okay.
Pretty soon, and then like whenever there's more details released about it, I'll be able to talk about it. But it's been fantastic being able to be a part of it so far.
Oh,
it
good.
feels so good to be in the industry.
Can you at least say comedy, drama?
Crime.
What is it?
Crime.
Crime. There you go. There's a good one.
Yes, sir.
So we have to make sure stuff's not missing when he leaves the studio tonight.
Yeah, I know.
He's so into character
going
now.
method.
Don't take my red 8-ball. I mean, that's very important.
Dude, it's a nice.
It's a nice 8-ball, isn't it?
nice 8-ball.
I bet you never saw a red one before.
kind of matching my sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Red over there, red there. That's right. So I'll tell you what, man, that is awesome. We are going to have you back, hopefully, if you're willing to come back.
Love to.
Yeah. And Maeve, if you want to get on next time, too, we have room for another seat here. You can talk about what you're doing at school. That'd be awesome. Tell your mother and father I said hello.
I will. Absolutely.
And anything else you want to tell anybody?
I hope everybody's having a great day.
Yeah, exactly. I'm having a great day,
Yeah.
especially now that you guys were here, of course. All righty, that's it. Thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate it.
Too bad.
All right, there you have it. Owen, man, I'll tell you, this was great catching up. It's been a while. It's been over a year since I've talked to him, and there's so much going on, and it's just a fun time. That's about it. Come see us every Thursday, 7 p.m. right here on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever else you can find us. All right. Are your kitchen and bathroom remodels a little overdue? Well, now's your chance to call First Response Contracting. John Sellers will take care of you. 484-256-7136. They do residential and commercial, and they're licensed and insured. Give them a call at 484-256-7136.